How you guys doing? Back from a semi-long break to bring you something that's way too small. It's almost like, honey, I shrank the phone. Okay, so what am I talking about? So there's a company out there called Unihertz. I think that's how you pronounce it. They are synonymous with unique phones like small phones, BlackBerry phones, BlackBerry-esque phones. And they're generally affordable, low budget, but decent phones. And today is no different, as in this generically marked box that says Unihertz. Jelly 2E. Jelly 2E. Looks like just some information on the back and then your IMEI numbers on the back. So this is an octa-core, 4 gig, 64 gigabyte storage, 2000 milliamp hour battery, 3.3 inch screen, 16 megapixel camera, and an 8 megapixel camera. It's a phone in a tiny little box that's no bigger than this little remote control. So needless to say, I'm interested in this for a couple reasons, but we'll crack it open as I kind of go over some stuff. So Unihertz has had the Jelly phone out for a while. They've had a couple iterations. They had some more rugged versions, and while they're not the most powerful phones in the world, they do have some advantages. For one, it's a small phone, so you're not going to spend as much time on it because the screen's hard to look at. So if you're trying to limit your space or your time and space, this is something you can look into. For me, I bought the original Jelly to run with because while I do have smartwatches that can, play sound through my earbuds, the battery life sucks when you do that. So this tiny little device, the last one I had actually had an attachment armband, so it was tiny. I don't know if this actually comes with an armband or even has the option, but it's so small you can throw it in your hand when you run. So that's one option I got it for the enthusiasts, but it's also for those individuals who kind of want to cut down their time used on a phone because for whatever reason. So this is the first time I've seen this phone. I don't know much about it, but we're going to open it and just check it out. So right off the bat, the 2E. Now they have a Jelly 2, and I think it's a little more powerful as a processor. I think it's got a MediaTek something in it. This is a MediaTek processor 2, but it's a very low-end device. So in here, you've got something. Let's see what we have. So you got your SIM ejection tool. Yo, you guys, look at this. A screen protector. And this thing is mighty small. If I can get it out of the container here. That's how small this thing is, you guys. Look at this thing. That is a screen protector, let me tell you. But hey, they include one. You got some usual books that you don't really want to look at. You got, it looks like to be the phone. Set it off to the side here. And you've got a charging cable. No brick, it looks like. And then you got a lanyard. It said that it would come with a case, unless it's, oh, and the case is already installed, so I'll take it off the phone. And then you got just a basic gel skin case. So not a bad deal. You don't get a charging brick, but with this kind of phone, it's not going to have a whole lot of fast charging anyways. So for that matter, I mean, look at this. You get a case, a lanyard which connects to the case. You get a charging cable and a screen protector. Not a bad deal. This is the phone. You guys, I don't have big hands, but you got 3 buttons down here. Looks like some capacitive buttons down there. You got a volume rocker on this side. You got a headphone jack, a microphone, and an IR blaster. That's one thing that attracted me to this, because in the US here we don't have a lot of phones that offer this feature, but some people are diehard. You got a addressable or a programmable button for whatever you want to do, and you got, looks like your power button, your SIM tray, and USB. On the back you got a fingerprint sensor, your 16 megapixel camera, and on the front there's a small little 8 megapixel camera on there. I'm going to try to power it on, and while it's powering on, I'm going to go over some of the more detailed specs so you guys can kind of get an idea of what it is. So I'll have it set right here. So it's the Unihertz Jelly 2E. It's 3.7 inches by 1.9 inches by 0.65 inches in diameter. It's 110 grams with the battery. It's got the MediaTek A20. It's a quad-core 1.8 gigahertz, or in other words, it's the Helio A20. It's a very low-end phone. Comes with Android 12 pre-installed. Has 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigabytes of memory. It's got a non-removable 2,000 milliamp hour battery. Duo Nano SIM card. It does have a microSD card slot, but I think it uses one of those extra dual slots that you'd use for a SIM card. It's got a Corning Gorilla Glass cover on the display. It's a 3-inch display. It's 480 by 854 pixels. Now, before you pixel peepers start saying, what the heck is this all about? It's a small screen, so it's going to look pretty sharp on here. For the camera, oh, what's the battery life on this? It says 89% already. It just opened it up. For the camera, on the back, you got a 16 megapixel camera, autofocus. On the front, you've got a 8 megapixel camera like we talked about. It does connect to 4G. I don't see any 5G connectivity here. I don't really think it's that big of a deal. I don't think the box said anything about 5G either, but it is a 4G phone only. But with this size of a phone, I don't know if you really want to just kind of need 5G, and that also, you know, sacrifice battery life. But you got a speaker grill. I'm just kind of showing you guys the USB-T like around the phone a little bit. I'm gonna peel off these stickers if I can. That way we can get a kind of a better look at this whole thing in general. And then I'm gonna throw on this beautiful case that they included. So peeling that off, and then the case. So yeah, it's a chunker, but it's definitely small. But it does do GSM. It's got band listing. You can go to the website. I'll leave a description, a link in the description, so you guys can see if it works on your carrier. I'm going to assume that it works on AT&T, T-Mobile, Cricket, Metro, those kind of things. But I think if you're with anything with CDMA, like Verizon, you may be out of luck. It does have Wi-Fi, 802.11 ABGN and AC, 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, Wi-Fi direct, Wi-Fi display, Wi-Fi hotspot. It does Bluetooth 2.1, Bluetooth 3.0, and Bluetooth 4.1. There's no NFC, so you can't tap to pay. It does have GPS, so if you want to use this for running, like I said, it'd be great. So in the box, like we said, we've got the lanyard, the case, and the charging cable, and a SIM ejection tool. It does have fingerprint reader, facial recognition, so I'm going to assume it just uses the camera here. It's got an infrared port, like we said, a programmable key that's in a very, oop, I turned the key. What's that, turn the, there you go. So the programmable button, you hold it down, it turns, looks like it turns the flashlight on. And like I said, no wireless charging. It does have an FM radio, and the only color they have is silver. At the time of the writing of this, it's only $159.99. So keep that in mind, you guys. This is not going to be a powerhouse. But I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to log into it real quick to show you guys some of the basics of this phone. Give me 1 second, okay? Okay, guys. So I got in here. I didn't put my account information here. I just wanted to set it up real quick. One thing to note, it does have a screen protector already installed, so you actually get 2. One thing you have to get used to is typing on this thing. I'll just open something up here. I know I don't have anything, any SIM card or anything here, but you hit start chat. It's a little slow. It's not the fastest thing, but see how small that keyboard is, and then you got your fingers. But so far, I logged into my Wi-Fi. Even though it's small, it generally gets the gist of what you're doing. The other thing is if you're used to gestures, it's got the button on the bottom. I haven't checked to see if there's a gesture option, but scrolling down, it's got a little bit of a lag there, here and there. But it's a small phone, and you're not using it to play games. Scrolling up, it's got an app called Student. I have no idea what that is. You can't uninstall it unless you go to settings and try it that way. Very little bloatware. That Student app was something weird. Obviously it still says Duo here, but when Google Play gets logged into, I'm sure that'll change to Meet. It's got sound recorder, that Student thing, a toolbox, which I haven't messed with yet, and then it has the Zaza remote, which is probably going to be used for the IR blaster. Just looking at this, you scroll down, it's very similar to most Android phones now. Again, it's got Android 12, so it's not too far behind. A quick search on their web says nothing about update schedules, so don't expect for $159 you're going to be getting anything past this. I could be wrong, and I don't want to call them out if that's true, but I don't see anything in here that's going to suggest that they're going to do a system update, security updates, and like that. And like I said, I just did check for update, and we'll see if it has anything now. Like I said, I just turned it on, but more than likely you're not going to get any, and if you do, it's not going to be a whole lot. But you guys, this is the Jelly 2E from Unihertz. It's and like I said, there's no update, but this is a unique and interesting phone for individuals who are trying to disconnect from their digital lives to have a little less intrusion. Pair it with a smartwatch or take it with you on a run. It might be something you could utilize with Bluetooth headphones, or it might be just something for you know, the person who wants something a little unique. So $159.99 USD. I'll leave a link in the description. Thanks for watching, guys.